Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chapter 1170 brief spoilers. We've actually got a little bit extra to show today. I was a little bit late this time, so we actually got more spoilers than normal. So let's get straight to it. This chapter is focused entirely basically in the castle, which makes sense. We were basically picking up right where we left off. Harold is still trying to get to Loki. Loki's in the treasure room trying to, tame Ragnar and eat the fruit. So we're picking up right where we left off. Harold and Shanks, they're continuing their fight, which is actually better than I thought. I thought this would have just been like the one and done slash, and that would have been it. But I guess we're actually getting a little bit more into that, which is kind of cool. We're seeing Shanks and Gaman fight together, which is actually pretty sick. I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more of Harold in this chapter, and that's kind of what it looks like. Harold is using a new named attack against Shanks and Gaban. We haven't seen Harold use a named attack, which is actually pretty sick. We never saw him use a named attack against Zebek, which is kind of crazy. The only time we saw Zebek use a named attack was against Emu, and the only time we're seeing Harold use a named attack is when he's taken over by Emu. So yeah, kind of interesting. Moving on, Loki's taming Ragnar this chapter. I don't know what they mean by taming. Taming means a lot of things. We're gonna find something out about Ragnar here in a second, but taming. I guess he's just accepted by the hammer. Yeah. So Loki opens the treasure chest near the end of the chapter. So we are very close to getting this Elbaf fruit, which is absolutely awesome. And there's no break next week. So we're gonna get into the additional spoilers. So Ragnar is the guardian of the mythical devil fruit. Ragnar has the devil fruit of the Ratatoski. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this fruit looks like so Ragnar is guarding a devil fruit. Ragnar's guarding the Elbaf devil fruit, which makes sense. It's just sitting in the throne room. I don't know why it's guarding it. Why is Ragnar just sitting by this? Because Ragnar has its own fruit. Ragnar has its own fruit, which is the Ratatoski fruit, which is a like squirrel Norse mythology fruit. Why does that fruit have any correlation with this other fruit? Yes, they're both Norse, they're both from Elbaf, whatever, but that doesn't we don't usually see devil fruits, paired up together in a way. Like these things are linked, which maybe there's just something in the past and that's what links them. We're gonna have to find out. So this is like a this is like a picture of what this squirrel looks like. I guess this might be from God of War. That character was referenced in that game. This is kind of what they look like. Or this is a depiction of them. It's just like some squirrel warrior. We're gonna have to see what powers Ragnar has. I honestly have no clue. So Ratatoski is the guardian of Yggdrasil and Elbaf's treasure. The guardian of Yggdrasil, which is that's kind of cool. The guardian of the whole tree, a squirrel. I mean, squirrels are found in trees, but I don't know about trees this big. And Elbaf's treasure. We have a squirrel guarding some of the most important shit in the story, which is fucking crazy. So the legendary devil fruit is massive. The legendary devil fruit is massive. I mean, it makes sense. Giants eat giant fruits, but this is the first devil fruit we've seen that's big. And when we're thinking it's massive, this might just be massive. It might not be massive for the giants, but this is going to be an enormous fruit. So it's a devil fruit for giants, and maybe that's the reason why a giant needed to eat it is because it's so big that you have to have a giant to eat it. I mean, you don't have to eat the whole fruit. So a human could have taken a very small bite and that would have counted, but moving on. This chapter is a 10 out of 10 for Loki fans. Yeah, this is this is probably best case scenario for Loki fans because now Loki has a devil fruit in his hammer and he has his own devil fruit. So he has two devil fruit powers plus probably top tier hockey. plus ancient giant blood. This is one of the most OP. This is like Kaido to the next level. You know, Kaido had OP Devil Fruit, OP, you know, genetics. This is even better genetics. Probably the same hockey, a better weapon, and a better Devil Fruit. This is insane. Loki is absolutely busted. Okay, so here's some of these additional spoilers, which they're kind of crazy. Elbaf's treasure is the Nidhogg fruit, which lives on World Tree Yggdrasil. The Nidhogg fruit, which I think is that you can see it kind of cut out here. I'm going to show a picture on screen. I think it's based on the dragon looking thing from the mural. So the Nidhogg is a fearsome dragon or serpent in Norse mythology that gnaws at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree, residing in the misty underworld realm of Niflheim, also called the Corpse Terror. It symbolizes destruction, decay, and the constant threat to cosmic order, feeding on the bodies of the dead and playing a role in the chaos of Ragnarok. This is insane. I mean, you know, Loki, we found Loki in the underworld, which he, you know, Nidhogg feeds on the bodies of the dead. We found Loki in the underworld. That's kind of, you know, whatever. So Nidhogg is like some dragon looking thing, serpent. I looked up a couple pictures of like what people think it would look like. And it's more of a serpent than a dragon. I don't know. It looks like it might have like 4 legs. But there's a couple depictions in what we think is the first world of some dragon looking things. And I think either one of those could be it. Here's kind of a depiction picture. I think it's more of a serpent on the ground. I don't really know necessarily if it's gonna fly, like if Loki could fly, but so here's the relation between the squirrel fruit and this Nidhogg. The relation is Ratatoskr is a squirrel who runs up and down the world tree Yggdrasil to carry messages between the eagles perched atop and the serpent Nidhogg. So I don't really understand what the connection means to like Elbaf or what it means to Loki. So Loki being Nidhogg, and I don't understand how Ragnar is supposed to bridge a gap between something. Like so Ragnar is supposed to carry messages between the eagles perched atop and the serpent. So Loki being the serpent would be at the bottom of Yggdrasil, and the eagles perched atop would be like the elders up in the heaven realm or something up in the heaven realm. Maybe it's referencing something else and you need Ragnar in order to control it, like something like Uranus, not Uranus because we think the government has Uranus, but like a Uranus type thing up in the heaven realm, you need Ragnar in order to control it to you know carry the message. Something I don't know, but yes. So this is like an image of the eye of Nidhogg, which you know we were wondering what the hell Loki's eyes were, and apparently this is just because it's crazy because Loki didn't have the fruit, so he had these eyes. So maybe this was something like Shirahoshi, where every 800 years you get a ancient giant who has these eyes, who is meant for the Nidhogg fruit, and maybe that's why Shirahoshi and Loki have such a great connection because they literally are both destined to you know get this power, this once in a lifetime power to change the world. So that's the end of the spoilers. This is insane. I'm really excited to see what this Nidhogg fruit looks like. I'm pretty sure we're seeing what the fruit looks like, considering we know it's big. Um, yeah, we are getting some 2 insane new devil fruits this chapter. Loki stocks are up. He is at least Yonko level. He's going to be insanely powerful. And it's honestly crazy because once we go back to the story, to the main story, and we're back with the Straw Hats, we are going to be with a Loki who is this powerful. Like, assuming Loki eats the fruit, we still don't know if he actually ate the Nidhogg fruit, but everything's pointing to that. I'm excited to see where this goes forward. Yeah, thanks. See ya.